An update on the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
And how new parking restrictions may affect your Cougar football Saturday this homecoming weekend.
And speaking of Cougar football Saturday, Ferdinand's Ice Cream brings back a fan favorite.
I'm excited for that.
Me too. Good evening. I'm Ijane Taylor.
And I'm Bradley Warren. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The Senate Judiciary Committee held a vote this morning to advance the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court back to the Senate floor. The vote ended with a tally of 11 yeas and 10 nays. During the hearing, the Arizona Senator Jeff Flake recommended that the full Senate allow the FBI 1 week to conduct an investigation.
Democratic members of this committee at my hearing a few weeks ago was an embarrassment. But at least it was just a good old-fashioned attempt at borking. This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up in the 2016 election, fear.
For the homecoming football game this weekend against Utah, be aware of some parking restrictions in effect through Saturday. Cars must be removed from all RV designated parking lots such as green, yellow, and blue lots on game day. No parking for those lots whatsoever is available. Students living in the residence halls may only park in a small designated area of the blue 1 lot. And remember, a Cougar Athletic Fund permit is required to park in any of those RV lots on game day. You can take a look at the WSU Transportation website for a full list of affected lots. And do you like pina coladas or getting caught in the rain? If you're not much into health food and you're more about ice cream, Murrow News 8 reporter Emma Jerome has some great news for you this homecoming weekend. Emma?
Thanks, Brad. I'm Ferdinand, checking out the scoop on a long-lost treat that people have missed for decades. For a limited time, the ice cream-flavored Tropical Dream is a mix of pineapple and coconut. Ferdinand says they brought it back for WSU for the alumni returning for homecoming this weekend.
It was a flavor that was popular here in the 60s and 70s, and it's a flavor that people loved back then, and at some point it was discontinued, and they haven't had it in 30 years, and people still ask for it. So we thought as kind of a fun homecoming throwback flavor, we would bring it back and recreate it, and so far the response has been really positive. So
it's the first time the ice cream shop has taken on a reintroduction project, and many alumni have already stopped by to get it. Tomorrow the creamery will open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for all you football fans. Jerome, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Emma. The student conduct process will see a major revamp as it moves closer to the completion earlier this month. The WSU Division of the State Office of the Attorney General drafted revisions to the Washington Administration Code. Some of the key issues addressed in the draft include: when someone alleges a conduct violation, the university presumes the student as not responsible. The board embedded the right to students to not self-incriminate throughout the conduct process. Students will have access to an advisor throughout the process, and more. For more information, visit President Scholl's memorandum on the Student Affairs website.
All right, and this is super interesting. City Council members met to discuss a petition and acknowledge the celebration of Indigenous People Day on October 8th in place of Columbus Day. Murrow News 8 reporter Kayla Bustiera joins us live to explain more. Kayla?
While gathering over 300 signatures in just a couple weeks, Pullman City Councilman Brandon Chapman says making an Indigenous Peoples Day symbolizes the next step up from doing nothing.
The more we study, the more we realize how much of our history has been whitewashed, and sometimes it's because that history is really embarrassing. But the more we learn, the more we realize, yes, we're on Nez Perce land, so let's honor that.
To Native Americans, Indigenous Peoples Day celebrates their culture and history, but most importantly signifies their resilience. Today, Native Americans remain underrepresented, but still present in our community.
I think Columbus Day is kind of like a smack in the face to Indigenous people. There's just no reason why we should celebrate a man who's really started colonization. The colonization which created this domino effect that reached the Indigenous people of North America.
What is now known as Columbus Day may now be known as Indigenous People Day. So the ads that you see in the newspapers or on TV for Columbus Day sales may not be a thing anymore, at least in Pullman.
I'd be disappointed, but we're still planning a celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day regardless. We're still going to celebrate and try to raise awareness on this campus at least.
The Pullman community will have to wait until the City Council meets next on October 2nd for a decision. Kayla Bautista, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Kayla. When we come back, we'll tell you why Goodwill evacuated on Thursday.
And we'll have an update from Wednesday's Democratic Forum when Murrow News 8 continues.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Dad's home!
Yeah. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Now here's one you don't see every day. The Goodwill store in Moscow had to evacuate Thursday. The twist and the evacuation came when an employee discovered what looked like a landmine in the donation box. The World War II item that looked to be a landmine was really just a training device and is now considered safe, so it won't be exploding anytime soon.
The Democratic challengers running for the local Washington State House seats took part in a town hall Wednesday at WSU. Our own Murrow News 8 reporter Taylor Swanson joins us with some interesting information on each candidate.
Democratic candidates Jennifer Goulet and Matthew Sutherland spoke to students and community members inside the Foley Center at WSU. Goulet, a recent college grad, spoke on the difficulties college students face.
It is so important to me that students not go into years and years and years of debt to get your college education.
Democratic candidate Matthew Sutherland is a current graduate student at WSU and an Army veteran. Sutherland's vision for Eastern Washington is pretty simple.
And when we come back, Sloan Childress takes a look at your weather forecast.
And find out what you'll need to wear for tomorrow's Cougar football Saturday.
I think you should wear this. I really like it.
Thank you. I just might. WSU takes on Utah this weekend. We have Sloan Childress in the Weather Center to tell us what the weather will be like.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love football.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks. School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
WSU takes on Utah this weekend, and we have Sloan Childress in the Weather Center to tell us what the weather will look like. Sloan?
Thanks, Aishanae. Yeah, today we are looking at a high of 73 degrees. It's going to cool down to about 64 degrees later on this afternoon. And we're looking at low winds and clear skies for tonight, so that's great. Throughout the rest of the region, we're looking at pretty similar temperatures with low to upper 70s in the, just kidding, tomorrow we are looking at a high of 65 in the morning, and then it will rise to about 68 in the afternoon and cool back down to 55 at night. So look out for that. Maybe bring your jacket if you're going out. Throughout the rest of the region, we're looking at similar temperatures to in Pullman with lower to upper 70s in the east and upper 70s and 80s in the west. Throughout the rest of the week, we are looking at showers on Sunday. So look out for that. If you're headed to school or work, make sure you bring an umbrella or maybe your jacket. And then throughout the rest of the week, we are looking at sunny skies with mid to upper 60s Monday through Wednesday. It will be a bit cloudy on Thursday. Yeah, look out for that on Thursday. It's going to be a little bit cooler. Back to the desk.
Coeur d'Alene just announced the date of their annual Mac and Cheese Festival.
We're going to have more details on that when we return, and maybe some macaroni?
Yes, I'm so excited for that.
We'll be right back.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course! Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Well, this one has me really excited. The Coeur d'Alene Mac and Cheese Festival comes back in January, and if you're like me, you probably eat macaroni 3 times a day.
A little bit, only if it's my grandma's mac and cheese though.
Well, I'm really excited about this one. You can go to Coeur d'Alene and try various types of different mac and cheese from local chefs in the area. They'll be competing to win the Golden Noodle Award, and it's actually pretty affordable. Tickets start at $10 for children 12 and under. The mac and cheese pack costs $20, and the mac and cheese and beer pack costs $30, and you get like a cup or something. So
that's a pretty good price.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in for it. And on the festival's page, the Moscow Modern Music Festival returns this weekend with 8 downtown venues participating. You can purchase a 2-day festival wristband for $40 and one for Sunday night performances. They'll be a little cheaper. The performances feature Little B, $30, and they're $30, and you can buy tickets at eventbrite.com under the hashtag ModernFest2018. So it looks like we've got some sports to talk about now.
Oh, yeah.
What's new in the sports world, Patrick?
Well, we're going to be talking a lot of Cougar football, including their impending game against Utah tomorrow, and we're also going to be talking about WSU soccer, who, by the way, is currently the only undefeated team in the nation, so look forward to that.
Anything about figure skating? Because that's all I know how to talk about.
I don't know.
You got nothing in there?
I got nothing about figure skating. I got nothing about figure skating. That's not my jurisdiction. No.
Oh, Patrick. We'll talk about figure skating later.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 p.m. for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Go Cougars.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is your weekly sports update on WSU's Cougar Corner.
Welcome to WSU Cougar Corner on Murrow News 8. I'm Patrick Gerardis.
And I'm Dax McCoy. Thank you for joining us.
WSU played against USC last Saturday, but despite a valiant effort, the Cougars fell to the Trojans 39-36. Murrow News 8 reporter Zach Anders watched the game in the LA Coliseum and has more on the Cougs' first loss.
Well, as they strip off USC's emblems here from the field, they're getting ready for the LA Rams to play here. This game still stings, and it really stung, especially for Gardner Minshew, who, even though he had a 3-touchdown night, he still walked away with a loss and a very upsetting play call there on that last drive.
It was a play, so go ahead.
Yeah, that was all on me. No, that was really stupid, and that's something I regret.
Now, Minshew clarified after the game, the post-game press conference, that it was his decision to check down and decide on a run play instead of throwing on 3rd and 6. And then, of course, that blocked field goal after ended up losing the game for the Cougs. And USC wins here for the 18th straight time at home. They haven't lost to a Pac-12 opponent in the Coliseum for 18 straight games, 2 years. That's incredible. So very disappointing, very difficult to watch here in Los Angeles as this game just fell apart at the end. The Cougs, they fall on this one, 39-36 is the final. We'll have more to recap this game throughout the rest of the week and looking ahead at that Utah game. But for now, in Los Angeles, Zach Anders, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Zach. And speaking of the Cougs, they're going to take on Utah this Saturday at 3 p.m. in Martin Stadium for WSU's homecoming game. Washington State leads the all-time series with Utah 8-7 after claiming a 33-25 victory last season in Salt Lake City. Washington State has claimed 9 straight wins in Martin Stadium. That's the longest home winning streak since a 9-game streak ended in 1946. When it comes to getting to the game, your ticket becomes the most important commodity in your possession. We now send it to Murrow News 8 reporter Noah Schmick with more about the Cougar ticket office.
Looking for a ticket to this Saturday's homecoming game? Stop by the Washington State ticket office on Stadium Way or call 1-800-GO-COUGS.
Thank you for calling the WSU Athletic Ticket Office. This is Malcolm speaking.
Washington State ticket office employee Malcolm McKenzie answers these same questions again and again.
I would say probably getting tickets and where are all my tickets. And then you get general questions as well about like location, or people asking about price, but normally it's about getting tickets.
McKenzie says getting a Crimson Passion be too hard, but the passes will sell out later in the week.
We do about, I would say, half on Monday, and then the rest go pretty slow throughout the week.
Here to get a Crimson ticket, please. Washington State usually holds an allotment of 500 student guest tickets per game. For this homecoming week, there will be 4 guest tickets per person for $45 each. Assistant Athletic Director of Ticket Sales and Services Matt Zollinger says weeks like homecoming attract more fans, adding stress to their jobs.
We look at it all the same, basically. It's like there's a lot of pressure on us to make sure this is a well-run event because we want the student athletes to have good experiences. We also want people coming in who are spending money to have good experiences too.
Student Gavin Yates says he loves all the homecoming events during the week on Greek Row, but he can't wait to watch the back home music video played at every game at Martin Stadium.
I watch that over the summer, and I watch that with my family and friends back home, and it gives me the chills, it gives me goosebumps, and I love it. It gets me hyped.
The hard work done inside the Washington State ticket office makes sure that your experience at Martin Stadium exceeds your expectations. Noah Schmick, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Noah. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait to go to more football games, and looks like Noah did a great job there.
All right, when we come back, local high school football.
And a preview of men's basketball. Stay with us. I can't wait to see more about that.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Never.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
The Moscow High School football team stands winless, 100-plus miles away from home and without their starting running back. Could that be too much to overcome? I traveled to Bonners Ferry to see if the Bears could end their losing streak. The season hasn't gone the way they wanted it to. After 4 straight losses coming into their Week 5 matchup, the Moscow Bears found themselves a long way from home, looking for that elusive first victory.
We've been on the verge. You know, the team's not an 0-4 team. I mean, we've just consistently shot ourselves in the foot.
The Bears' defense set the tone early, forcing several Bonners Ferry turnovers, and then turned those opportunities into points. Sophomore quarterback Chad Redinger broke the game open, hitting Brecken Maurer for a deep first-half touchdown. A strong run game combined with big pass plays allowed Moscow to take a 42-0 halftime lead over Bonners Ferry. Coach Helbling says they're going to keep pounding it in. The Bears had scenarios with the lead going into halftime before and ultimately collapsed, most notably on homecoming night against Timberlake. Coach Helbling made sure that didn't happen again.
We're not going to even let them have a sniff of time, you know, to sit there and talk about how much they're up or talk about letting off the gas pedal. It was, hey, we're getting back to it.
Bonners Ferry quarterback Aaron Scott struggled to move the ball against Moscow until late in the second half when he rushed for a 26-yard touchdown. But with limited time and a daunting deficit, Moscow's lead remained safe. Moscow gets their first win, 49-12, and celebration ensued.
The whole team is just ecstatic. We're really pumped. We can't wait to go into Lewiston next week, hopefully bring this momentum and play them as hard as we played tonight.
The Bears' attitude and performance summed up in one sentence:
we're tired of losing.
Moscow will host Lewiston High School this Friday night in Moscow. In Bonners Ferry, I'm Dax McCoy, Murrow News 8.
The Pac-12 schedule for basketball season came out not too long ago, showing when WSU will play their biggest games of the season. We now send it over to Guillermo Mota for your basketball fix. Guillermo?
Thanks, Patrick. The WSU men's basketball team promoted Tim Marion to assistant coach as the Cougars get ready to start the preseason. The team lost a few key players last season, including Malachi Flynn, Malin Aqua, and Drake Burstein. The Cougars did get back Robert Franks after he withdrew from the 2018 NBA draft. The Cougars start the games next weekend with the annual Zoom Mania scrimmage game. The Cougars play 8 true home games at Beasley Coliseum this year, including an exhibition game, but 11 total in the state of Washington with a road game against Seattle U at the Key Arena on November 14th. As in neutral games, we have Montana at the Toyota Center in Kennewick. Other preseason games include Nichols, Cal Poly, Delaware State, California State, University of Northridge, and the Cougars also traveled to Las Vegas on December 22nd to compete in the Las Vegas Classic. WSU begins their Pac-12 campaign with 3 back-to-back away games. On January 5th, they start against University of Washington, which happens to be a rival. The Cougars take on California on January 17th, and the first home game happens to be against California. I take it back to you, Patrick and Dax. That's all I have for you.
After the break, we take our weekly look at Cougs in the pros.
When we return, basketball season is upon us.
Indeed.
I'm very excited.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it.
Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside. My new mom and I have a lot in common. So shiny. We both love the outdoors. That's not a flower. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Now we'll look at Cougs in the pros. New York Jets linebacker Frankie Luvu continues to rack up tackles. He made 2 of them in the Jets' most recent loss to the Browns. Dayon Buchanan of the Arizona Cardinals had his playing time significantly reduced under newly installed head coach Steve Wilks. He has only played 46% of the defensive snaps. In baseball, Chicago White Sox pitcher Ian Hamilton pitched 1 1/3 innings in the series against Cleveland. Hamilton gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. Well, we'll be right back.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Yeah. That is all we have for you in this edition of WSU Cougar Corner on Murrow News 8.
Join us every Friday night, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.